So I start with the ethos that was already presented beforehand. We care for the earth, we care for the people, and we creatively living together. Over the last, we're almost 20 years together, and we have ended up with an amazing village. I would like to acknowledge the founders, the people that have been actually had this dream and have been bringing it forward, and now we're at this stage here where it's there. I want to be absolutely acknowledging Barbara Powell, who has just recently died and was one of the very, very early people that were talking about it in the Mount Barker community where we lived, and we did workshops with her, and the question was raised, what are we going to do when it is getting in an age group where we might need help, or we can be involved? Are we going to sit together in our age group, or are we going to live in a community? Well, if you look around now, we're living in a fantastic community, and we have achieved enormously lot. There's actually only one really, really big issue. If you look at the whole link of a sustainable caring for people, we're almost there, but we've forgotten one link to make it a journey that we can say, yes, we are here, and that is our elder. I don't feel how we present this, because elder or older is not in my picture. In my picture was, we're all here together, we all need help at times, and we all work together from birth to end and beyond. So I wanted to hand over to, I've just talked about the amazing village, and I wanted to see the question of how can we work together? How can we make this as the link that we need to put together? Because it saddens me. It saddens me very much that we have a 20-year community that has not managed to look and make it a natural way of looking after each other. So please, I would like to start talking about Margaret Match, my journey with her, and her family has put together a wonderful little PowerPoint that Bo so kindly has helped me with to present on here at this moment.
I'm just going to go through the slides. These were sent from David, which is Margaret Madge's son, and there's some text on the slides. I'm going to read them out on behalf of David in case you can't see the text clearly. Mum, or Margaret, lived and loved the village and her place in it. She enjoyed helping out with working bees, sharing the village with family, and being part of her adoptive family's activities. Mum enjoyed life and followed her passions. Over the years, Mum's interest in village life and its causes continued, but living at home gradually became more difficult, and the government's home care package she needed was still a long wait away. A network of good village friends helped to keep her active and connected. But we all struggled to provide the support Mum needed to stay at home, and eventually made the heartbreaking decision to move her to a nursing home. This did not stop her loving and being part of village life. She still enjoyed spending precious times at her home, but it was obviously not the same as living there. In April, after Mum had surgery, we decided to care for her where she wanted to be, at home with family. And with a lot of support from friends. And more friends. The love and support Mum was given by young and old was simply beautiful. It really felt like this is how the end is meant to be. enjoying the last touches of beauty and love in familiar surroundings. We all know it takes a village to raise a child. Our experience of Mum's death was that it took a village to enable us to care for our mother so she could reach the end with dignity, in a place she loved, surrounded by family and friends. We are very grateful to have had the opportunity. Thank you for that. We hope that others in the village are just as fortunate, with love from the Madges.
I just wanted to make a picture for you what it meant for me and for the picture in the village, especially on her last 2 days. So it was obvious that Margaret was definitely not going to stay very much longer. And for me, Margaret loved a special spot in the garden, which was near her open door. We could put all her time that I've known her. She would sit in the sun, watch her garden, would go in it a little bit, sit down. And so when she came back home, we put her as many times we could outside in her garden. And when we looked at her garden the couple of days before, it needed a lot of care. So a few people in the village came together and we worked while she was watching us. How much she could see or not, it wasn't important. And on the last day, I went in the morning with another little group. They left and she was taken inside. It became a little bit too cold. And we put her now near the open doors. And she was, it was around 5 o'clock. I went home to have a change and got a phone call that Margaret was watching the sun go down. It was a beautiful red set sun, which was her love to sit there. And she had a very deep breath. And Caroline said to me, we thought she was going to tell us something, and that was her last breath. This is what is for me so important. If you look at what's happened with our elder in the national, and we now are all focusing and seeing this all the time, I would like to see if we could actually start carrying through from birth to elder without having that as a special subject, to see it going to happen and to see that we can make it natural. That when we are in the shed, some of us can think, oh, we've got some people sitting at home, let's invite them. Let's sit there with them, or they can be with us, and let's see if we need them. There's a lot of questions that we need to ask, how we do this, and what we could do, but there's a lot of possibilities here, because we have the people. And I know for one thing that elder people have given a lot. Not only in our village, but everywhere. We are born and need help. Then we go for years of sharing and giving and helping. Then we go for years or months that we need more help. But they won't ask. I've seen a person in the village that I came across a week ago, and when I saw her, hadn't seen her for a while, she honestly said to me, it's getting too much. And have you asked? No, I can't do that. Well, that is where the point is where we're lacking. We need to keep an eye on, and we need to say it's natural. Don't say, no, I can't ask, because you give another person a possibility to feel good about themselves and to make sure that they are going to be sure of help when the time is there. But I want to say my picture is that we have an all eco-friendly, sustainable village. Let's make a circle where we all absolutely care for each other of every time when necessary that we give and share. So from here, I invite you to join us. I invite young people to come along to meetings that we're going to organize, and we're forming a circle of friends to close our link. And that's all I can say.